hopefully we're actually going to get this painting finished. So I'll start by beating the devil out of my brushes. I suspect the problem we've been having is there's just too much Satan in them. And we can't have that. Oh yeah. Love the smell of paint thinner in the evening. Smells like brain damage. Brushes are hard to try. Good about this. Let's start by fixing a bunch of the problems from earlier. Those reflections are still really upsetting me. So we'll get the liquid light back out. And we're going to fix those. Some of that liquid white and some of this nice stuff here. More of that, a bit more of that. How well can we see this? Reasonably well. First we'll pump up these jams. Throw some of those reflections of the water down there. Some of those are a bit redder, so we'll grab some of those there. That's nice. These down there. Get the big boy brush out. There he is. Reflect these down into the water like so. Just come across them all white. That looks better. What else isn't quite looking right? I think we'll throw some more evergreens over here on that side, so otherwise that's going to look a bit sad. Don't do that. We'll get some more of this evergreen mix out. Paint thinner because paint's starting to dry a bit. You could also use linseed oil for less toxicity, but that'll take all the danger out. It wouldn't be as much fun. Let's throw some trees on here. There we go, one up there. One here. It's a bit close. Just have those a little bit closer. Canvas over here, and there we go. It's a nice little kind of a thicket vibe happening over there. I like that. Leave some stuff where the rest shows through. Maybe bring this one down. Might have a little short guy just there. Hey, Toxico Magico from YouTube. Hey, buddy. Yes, this is me painting along with Bob Ross. I'll just bring that thicket. Oh man, I just dumped a whole lot of paint in the middle of the painting. I wonder if I can get rid of it. Well, we'll find out together. Using the word fun a bit loosely here. Yep, looks like it'll go away, just it'll leave some cool funky splashes in the water, which look pretty neat. Happy accidents. Quite like those actually. No one would think I did them on purpose. Hey, thank you, Himashiri. I mean, the jury's out on how wonderful this is going to be, but it's always worth trying, right? And at the moment I'm just kind of fixing mistakes from my first run at this. It was earlier today. What should I do next, Bob? Bob's going to tell me what to do. This is in the past. Let's fast forward just a smidgen. Come on. Almost there. There we go.
Drive you up the wall, but you practice it.
I've got
There's a secret to this, it is practice. You learn how to make the brush work, how to touch the canvas with it, and then it's just a matter of practicing.
You're right. And this is
First time you tied your shoe, it wasn't easy. You had to look at it and work at it. Next thing you know, you're not paying any attention. You get your shoe tied. Same thing. We'll just, maybe we'll make another little projection coming right out through here. There we go. Put a reflection in here. And we'll pull that down. Okay, lay in some more of these pretty colors back here. It's a nice little bush right there. There's one. And right down here we'll reflect.
Like a good place to pause for a moment and do what Bob wants me to do. Lay in another wee bush. So a treat for everyone who's hanging around. This is where I wash the brush. And just like Bob says, we beat the devil out of it. Take that, Satan. My old dad would be so proud of me. Kicking devil butt. Alright, do we need another... Do we want to have another pine tree there? I feel like we could have maybe a bigger one. Yeah, alright, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's throw up another... That's enough. That's a yucky way of putting it. Throw up. The green. A smidgen of brown. A smidgen of red, because why not? Just going to blast a tree in here. We'll go there. And then we'll do that little projection that Bob talked about. It's a bit greener than the other trees. My rationale for that is that it's a little bit closer than the others. Yep, that'll do. And then let's get that projection that Bob spoke of. Might need to throw some more brown in there. One of the funny things about painting along with Bob is that you always run out of the colours you don't expect to, like brown. Some more projectioning happen there. I feel like there could be a larger projection. It should probably come down a bit more as well. Alright, what's Bob going to tell us?
Some of these. Delicate touch again, very, very light. Just enough to move it a little bit on the wet canvas. And we'll put some land out here so these bushes have a place to sit.
Whoops.
Don't want them to fall off in the river here. So we'll give him something to sit on here. And we can take a clean brush and just lift that gently. This is a very thin paint now. It's mostly magic white. So you can move that without destroying what's underneath it. And here we'll use a little bit of just straight magic white. And we'll put us a happy little water line in here. There. Okay.
That seems like a good place to pause. I'm being requested to put that water line in. First we're going to reflect the bushes into the water. Do that. got some brown town on the underside of the palette there. It was unsightly. I needed to scrub that before we could move on. Right, devil beating. You guys like jazz, like improvised jazz, because that's what you're getting. Smooth jazz. Right, let's get some red and yellow and mix it in with some magic white. Some of this on here. It's a powerful red. It's gonna catch some fire. Right, let's spot that bush up in there. Man, look, I'm gonna go no limits. It's too red. But who cares? It'll look cool. Let's do significantly more yellow. Mix that up with some more of the white. It's still like bright orange, but oh well. Push through here. All right. Now we got to do the reflection. That's not yellow enough. I need yellow. Come here. Oh man, that cap is frozen on. Oh. There we go, we got it. Wonderful. That's more of this color. Sort of. There we go, that's it. So if anyone's hanging around, they'll have noticed that I'm not painting as fast as Bob Ross, and there's a pretty good reason for that, and that's that I'm not Bob Ross. He was really good at this, and he'd had a long time to practice. But hey, that looks alright. We'll take it. Let's grab that, reflect it. Lost a bit of the highlighting, but it's okay. Let's pull that down there as well. There we go. That's properized. That's the correct reflection. And then very lightly go over it. And that'll do. Skip back a smidgen because I feel like I missed something before. He was doing some stuff. Let's watch Bob again.
And right down here we'll reflect some of these. Okay, delicate touch again. Very, very light. Just enough to move it a little bit on the wet canvas. And we'll put some land out here so these bushes have a place to sit. Don't want them to fall off in the river here.
No, that would be terrible.
So we'll give him something to sit on here.
I'm using the sitting down there.
And we can take a clean brush and just lift that gently. This is a very thin paint now. It's mostly magic white. So you can move that without destroying what's underneath it. And here.
He hasn't been too explicit about what he's using there, but I'm going to say he's using a bit of brown and a bit of green, and a bit of yellow. I'm using this ice cream lid as a palette now. See, there's no green in that at all. Yeah, that looks about right for a lakeshore. Let's cut that in there. Let's throw that down a little bit. Alright, what next? He wants me to lift it up. How would I do that? I suppose I could do it with a brush I haven't washed yet. Hey, there we go. That looks, I think that's roughly what he's after. It seems kind of gross. Oh man, I'm so sorry my mic is quiet. I could just yell at it. Is that gonna work? Right. Let's hit the play button.
Here we'll use a little bit of just straight magic white. And we'll put us a happy little water line in here.
Ah.
There. Okay. Now then, you can put some more little bushes right in here, like so. And we'll drop some reflections into the water. And we'll pull those down. And anybody can do this. This is not some big secret thing. Anybody can do it. We teach people from the age of 10 all the way up 80 and 90 years old.
Okay, so he's just kind of blasting in.
And young people really,
some bush action down there.
really like this. They learn it very easily, very quickly, and they see results very quickly.
No,
I have
go back.
Son that's young. Way to put a happy buck in your pocket.
Oh, there we go.
There. Down. And anybody can do this.
Right. Let's get some bush stuff happening through here. Yep, why not? Why not? I've just got all this colour on my fan brush, so I'm going to go hard through here. Now I guess I have to reflect that down. Stuff. Like it's a it's Bob's. I feel like his is going to go down a little bit further, but what I'll do, I could just blast this down a little bit further here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go down a bit more. I like that. We got kind of a lawn thing happening there. And I'll just take the opportunity to embiggen this. Here we go. Right, let's reflect that up. Once I fix this. Find the waterline and go. Gentlify it over here. Let's come down a bit more there. And then, I've run ahead of where I'm meant to be in the scheme of things, but let's hit play and find out what's next.
It's not some big secret thing. Anybody can do it. We teach people from the age of 10 all the way up 80 and 90 years old. And young people really, really like this. They learn it very easily, very quickly, and they see results very quickly. I have
Okay.
a son
We
that's
got some big
a
trees
young
going
man
on
right
over there.
now, and he's been painting since he was about 12 years old. Been selling his work. So it's not just for the older person. It will also work very well for the young person. The only trouble, like my son, he's quite lazy. He'll only paint if he needs money. If he needs money, he'll paint.
I need money.
But it is a nice way to put a happy buck in your pocket.
Sounds ideal.
And to make good things happen in your heart.
This is a huge little
Okay,
rainbow.
we'll just have this come right on down through here. Fill that in.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay, now we can start highlighting some of these things. We'll take a little bit of blue and yellow mixed together. Make a very nice little green color here. And we'll just drop some highlights on this tree. Remember where your light's coming from. Light's coming from the right. So you want the right hand
That's a
side.
good pause. You can see what's happening. These brushes really well beaten out. Okay, that is a huge tree that goes almost all the way to the top of the screen. And Bob's doing it like with his 1-inch brush, which must just be absolutely cranking with paint. So let's just try that. I usually just make the trees with the fan brush because I like the results better. It's really hard to get enough paint on the brush to do it the way that Bob does it. So what he does is he's kind of almost sharpening the brush. And there's so much paint on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust this. Alright. Big decisions. How does he actually get that much paint on his brush though? That's nuts. Alright, I'll use the side of the brush because I can rely on that. This isn't going to work. No, it's not even coming off. Nah. Look at all that. Waste of paint. I'm going to stick with fan brushes for this bit. I don't know what magic Bob is using to pull this off, but it's out of my reach. Some advanced Dungeons and Dragons shit. There we go, that's a bit more me. man, that is a large gentleman of a tree. Now I can go back to Old Mate. And I'll throw a bush on in there. Oh man, look at the wobble that canvas is getting on it. Alright, what you got in store, Bob?
This tree to be a little more distinct and bright than the left side.
Oh, we're doing highlights, okay.
And if you're right-handed, you'll probably find it's easier to have the light coming from the right. If you're left-handed, it will sort of vary from person to person. Okay. Let's put some little highlights over here on these little trees. The sun wouldn't forget them. There we go.
Alright, we've got some of the stuff I was doing earlier with some liquid white and some yellow. I won't need much of that to highlight the trees with. I'm not going to put too much in the way of highlights on there either because it kind of ruins it. I'm going to throw some green in there just to offset the highlights a smidge. There we go. Yeah, I'm not going to go too hard on those. The highlights are easy though. Well, relatively easy. Some little ones on that one. These trees are kind of further away, so they won't get as many. They're almost picking up highlights from being painted over the mountain anyway. But I'll put some on here and there. That's kind of nice. And stepping carefully over the paints and paint thinner and crap everywhere. Let's put some over here. Pop off momentarily while I'm doing this and go back to our chill stream tunes. But why don't you get it straight on? Look, there you go. I like that one kind of dark. Makes it look a bit more further away. Don't know about that though. Let's get rid of that. Uh-oh. That's almost a heavy accident, isn't it? Yeah, that looks like there's a cloud happening there. Get out of it! Yeah, mongrel. Okay. It's alright, it's okay. We'll make it work. So bring in some dark there. Balance it out. different tree species or something. Okay. I promised myself that I was doing this to take less time with painting, and so far it's not really happening. Let's just bounce on. It'll float on okay. Let's go back to black.
We'll put just a little bit of magic white under here. Give us a little water line.
How did you do all that? You been painting while I've been out? Good grief.
There we are. Now, a little more magic white. Thin that down just a touch. And we can start finding all these beautiful little trees and bushes that are living in here. Very important that you don't kill all this dark area. If you kill all the dark, your picture's going to be...
Whoops.
Hello, glad to see you again. Down.
Okay, take this here.
And anybody can do
There.
this way to put a happy buck in your pocket.
Yep, oh that's right, we talked about making money.
Well, just drop.
Alright. I never got this far. Definitely didn't get that far.
Okay. Now we can start highlighting some of these things. We'll take a little bit of
Nope,
blue and
nope.
yellow mixed together.
Go back.
Make a very nice... Very important that you don't kill all this dark area. If you kill all the dark, your picture's going to be...
Okay. We're back where we were. Get some of this dark stuff. Trying to go a bit faster so I can finish at a decent hour. Let's we'll come in right on over here and such. Stay down here. Wow, that looks horrible. Let's see if we can resurrect it.
Okay. Now we can start highlighting some of these things. We'll take a little bit of blue and yellow mixed together. Make a very nice little green color here. And we'll just drop some highlights on this tree. Remember where your light's coming from. Light's coming from the right. So you want the right-hand side of this tree to be a little more distinct and bright than the left side. If you're right-handed, you'll probably find it's easier to have the light coming from the right. If you're left-handed, it will sort of vary from person to person. Okay. Let's put some little highlights over here on these little trees. The sun wouldn't forget them. There we go. There we are. Now, a little more magic white. Thin that down just a touch. And we can start finding all these beautiful little trees and bushes that are living in here. Very important that you don't kill all this dark area. If you kill all the dark, you...
Right. Magic white. Looks like he's put together a nice little bush over there. Let's find that. That is nice. That is a nice little bush. Cool, I'm liking that. Kind of a round boy. What now?
Picture is going to be very flat. Well, we might as well just reflect it right into the water there.
Oh, that sounds easy.
Okay, there we go. A little bit right in here. And we'll reflect that right on down. A little touch of red over the top.
Grassy thing happening here. And then that we can reflect this way. I'll throw down some of that bushy stuff here. Some more of this bushy kind of stuff here. Do another bush there, I think. Why are my bushes better when they're upside down? That doesn't seem fair. Oh, no it's not. We'll get that big boy there as well. Reflect that on in. Actually, no, maybe I won't. Bob isn't doing that, so let's not get ahead of Bob. I actually have to hold my breath for this stuff. The reflections are just that delicate. Cool.
Okay, there's another nice tree, I see.
Oh, I see. He's brought some more land out there.
Little rascals live in your brush. You guys got to push them out. And let's put a touch more of the magic here. There, nice ochre color.
Oh, he's going on the other side. That's fine. Alright, I'm just going to try and catch up the best I can. So it looks like he's bringing the shoreline out this way a bit. So I'm just going to put a ton of magic white down. Love that sound. Yeah, the reflections are the best, Clockwork. Maybe followed closely by mountain shadows. Mountain shadows are just so cool. When they work, they really work. Alright, devil beating time. if I become more incoherent as these streams go on, it's because I'm standing over an open bucket of paint thinner. Oh man, that stuff is it's spicy. I should open a restaurant. Only the thinnest paints served in my restaurant. Alright, it looks to me like he's chucked in some bushes in that over here, which I will do. Well, that's nice. Another one there. And they've come right down like this. As I work back into here, you'll see the bush gets a bit darker. I'll wipe the brush off a little bit, and then you can throw some more paint on there and do another. Just a bit more highlight here would be nice. There we are. Just giving a bit more shape to it. I'm not as good as Bob at getting shape to the bushes. That's nice. I like that. Lee likes clouds. I like clouds. Clouds are a good time. Right, looks like Bob's off doing a huge, massive tree kind of affair off to the left there. So let's follow him over. So I've got my ice cream palette lid because the other palette is reaching its limits. And let's see if I can make that into a nice looking tree. It's not here. Whoa, that's powerful stuff. Looks like it's going to cause some allergies. There's a lot of pollen happening. That's all right. We'll just fade gently. I don't know. I feel like it's just a bit too uniform. Oh well. Let's get some. Let's get some ochre stuff happening. I'm just going to grab a bunch of bright red off the brush and then mix it in with the. We did just before. He's done some like nice little bushes down here. Yeah, this is a different look. Go even more red. I'm going to do almost like some grassy, bushy kind of. Maybe there's like some flowers coming up the ends. Pop those on. Real right here, so it stands out a bit. Some water's edge plant stuff happening. Back into the orangey stuff. Make these look a bit more distinct. wow, okay. Nearly had a situation where I like dribbled magic white all over my shoes. That's definitely never happened before. Some more, oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm going to go a bit different, try for a bit of green. That's nice, kind of offsets all of the bright. Somewhat. Alright, let's catch up. Let's see what Bob wants me to do now.
Oh, these pretty little bushes. Just let them flow off your brush. And some little grassy areas coming down through here. Just turn that into a nice reflection. Just like so. Okay, now, let's give him a little bit of dirt. There we go. This is straight Van Dyke brown. And onto that, we'll take a little brown and white and give him just a little touch of highlight. Make him look like little stones and rocks playing through here. Okay.
It looks like in Bob's world he did some reflections there, like kind of turned that into kind of a coastline vibe. I don't know if I've got the guts for that. What I would like to do is make it a little grassier through here. I don't like how grassy it isn't. It's yeah, that's nice. Might even do some of that over here as well, just to... Yeah, that's nice. I actually like that very much. Right, let's get dangerous. Bob wants us to do knife stuff. So, pure Van Dyke brown. I need to get another palette out. Oh my god. So many palettes. Clean off the knife. That's blue, that's not brown. Yeah, okay, the thin is definitely kicking in. I've lost the ability to tell between colours. Yeah, that's right. Clockwork. Mine is more detailed. It's because I can't stop painting detail. That's my fatal flaw. I genuinely want to paint less detail. Like, a big part of the reason I'm doing this completely absurd experiment is so I can be a little bit more careless. That's what I'm wanting to get out of this, like, just to be a little bit more cavalier and loose with my painting. With the stuff I've done that's, oh, thank you, Christopher. all the stuff I've done in the past, it's like been photorealistic or close to realistic or whatever, it just takes so flippin' long, and it's so hard, and honestly kind of boring. You get sick of it. And so I thought, alright, if I just learn to paint as loose as Bob does, maybe then I can be happy. And also the world's in a bit of a state. it's not good out there. And I mean, I don't know, your opinions may vary. People have different political opinions to me, but yeah, it just seems a lot of people are finding eggs really expensive right now. Put it that way. And like I'm getting all caught up in the detail again. This took Bob about 10 seconds. So I'm gonna be like Bob and marble up some of this white stuff and just kind of throw it on down there. Look at that, look how fast I'm painting. Ugh. So fast, I love it. Okay, alright. That was something. We did that.
Let's put a few little sticks here and there.
What?
Here we're just cutting through the paint using the point of the knife. There we go. A little bit right in here. And we'll reflect that right on down. A little touch of red over the top. Okay. There's another nice tree, I see. Little rascals live in your brush. You guys got to push them out. And let's put a touch more of the magic here. There, nice ochre color. All these pretty little bushes, just let them flow off your brush. And some little grassy areas coming down through here. Let's turn that into a nice reflection.
And that's what I'm doing here, in case anybody's
just
wondering.
Like so.
Yeah, thank you, Clockwork. That's
okay. Now,
exactly what I am not going to do.
Let's give him a little bit of dirt. There we go. This is straight Van Dyke brown. And onto that, we'll take a little brown and white and give him just a little touch of highlight. Make him look like little stones and rocks playing through here. Okay. Let's put a few little sticks here and there. Here we're just cutting through the paint using the point of the knife. But it shows distance. It shows all these different planes.
Well, I'm just going to draw a bunch of aircraft in a Bob Ross painting and say that there's a bunch of planes in it. Wait. Right. I'm going to throw some bushies in there. Some more of those yellowish bushies. Oh dear God, the smell of that thinner. Get out of here. Alright. These are going to be reflections of a kind. This is gonna come through there. We already did the reflections through there. I need a bit more dark stuff. Go come through here. All this horrible looking stuff is going to be beautiful reflections. Same thing over here. The other reason that this looks a bit more detailed than Bob's is because Bob was filming in 360p, or whatever the 1980s equivalent was. Might have been even less P's than 360. Gently does it. We need a smidge more dark brown in the corner there for reflection purposes. Let's pull that down real careful like. That'll do. If I touch it anymore, I'll kill it. And Bob was getting scratchy, wasn't he? I like scratching. The scratching is actually fun. Throw some there. One thing you can do if you're getting scratchy with a painting, like as you can kind of blend it out a smidge. Yeah. Here's the if someone's not good at scratching, I'll just talk about it a bit. So I'll demonstrate on this bit of the painting. Here, let me go to the main view. Can you see that okay? Right. Let's get really busy on scratches through here. I feel like scratching is this part that people just kind of naturally excel at. You can have some fun with this. Is just like the rest of a Bob Ross painting, you can just blend this out a little bit. So it looks less scratchy. Or the scratchies are a little bit more subtler, which is a word. And scratchy over here. Was he scratching over that side? Hey, thanks for the sub, Christopher Charles. I am really new at this. I have no idea what that means. Does that mean that you've liked and subscribed? Alright, getting too detailed. Let's go back to Bob. What the? You ain't meant to keep going without me. Back here.
Let's put a few little sticks here and there.
Yeah, thank you.
Here we're just cutting through the paint using the point of the knife. But it shows distance. It shows all these different planes. Okay. We'll put just a little bit of magic white under here. Give us a little water line.
Ah, yes, now we're talking. I love a good water line. shaky. Switching back to the ambient music, and it's just this weird nightmare. It's strange. Oh, I love free streaming music. Oh, we took the sound of a baby, like, making a low moan, and we just turned that into a song. Must prefer the Bob Ross ambient music from season 1. I'm pretty sure Bob only used ambient music during season 1 of The Joy of Painting. Don't think we saw it at any other stage, and that was good. Alright, so here's me getting some magic white, which was later to become known as liquid white, and I'm cutting in a little waterline. There we go. Whilst trying to avoid kneeling in one of, I think we're running 5 pellets now. Seems like a lot. Let's run this right on that reflection there. Some extra water lines here and there.
And so we had nothing in common overnight. It's very strange.
So you know that it's water. Alright. Oh yeah, that's nice. Let's do that the same over here. Oh man, what? Big old dribble. I don't care what you say, that's not a happy accident. That's a whimsical accident at best. Unhappy that. I feel like we're coming to the conclusion. Yeah, let's see what Bob has to say. Oh, he started a new painting apparently.
Now you can blend this too much and take it all out. Here. Yeah, well, just drop some. We'll put just a little bit of magic white under here. Give us a little water line. Go. And a few little sticks over here. Okay, but you see what you can do in just a few minutes.
A few minutes?
With an almighty brush and an almighty knife.
This has taken several hours.
And a beautiful painting in your heart.
But I also feel like Bob maybe threw a waterline on this little guy up here, which I never did, so I'm just going to do that now. Folks, if you've stuck with me so far, 1, I'm very grateful. 2, I'm amazed. Like, well done. It's like tactical endurance. YouTube streaming. I don't think anyone has ever witnessed someone so obviously new at this. That looks pretty nice. I'm just going to take that. I'm happy with how that looks. Could easily do too many borderlines. Right. I think Bob wanted me to do a bit more scratching. I said in the earlier part of the stream that you can kind of tell how stressed I am trying to follow along with Bob by the state of my hands. And they're not too bad. They've been worse. Let's do some more little happy scratches. We'll see what Bob has left.
Have to do is let it out. A few more sticks. There we go. I think we'll call that finished. Hey. And I want to thank you very, very much for watching us. I hope to see you again in the near future. Until then, happy painting. Thank you.
Hey, that's what it's meant to look like. All right. We got there. Let's well, let's not spend the next hour fiddling with it. I'm gonna resist that urge. I'm just gonna nudge a bit of snow on just up here. That's the last thing that's really bothering me about this painting. Just kind of didn't put any snow there. Yeah, I'm happy-ish. Actually, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I kind of don't want to stop now. It just looks so nice. I just want to stare at it. That would make an even worse stream. So I guess we'll just have to, leave it how it is. Look, gaze upon it. I'll just clean some brushes and stuff while you gaze. But look, for everyone who stuck around, everyone who didn't, that's also fine. Thank you. It's really nice of you to drop in and watch this extremely weird experiment while I try and paint along with every single episode of The Joy of Painting. I didn't sign this painting. Oh yeah, I could do that. Bob didn't sign this one, but I'm gonna do it, guys. Open the hell pit of paint thinner. They talk about odorless paint thinner. That's a lie. It's extremely not odorless. like, instead of smelling kind of interesting like turpentine, it just smells like poison. I don't know where I'm going to put the signature. Maybe in there. You can't see that because the angle's wrong. So, let's fix the angle. There we go. I'm just going to put a 2 ruru in here. W's are hard. Interested in watching more streams? What a subtle segue. But if you are, I'll be doing more of them. Because I'm trying to paint along with every single Bob Ross painting. This music is horrible. I hate free stream music. I'm sorry whoever wrote this like killer track, but this is ear cancer. All right, painting side. You can go over there. You can get the devil beaten out of you, tiny brush. And with that, we are going to call this painting and this stream finished. Have a good evening or day, everybody.